Let me tell you about ProHealthConnect.com. It's transforming healthcare payments, providing retailers a seamless process for over-the-counter and healthy benefit programs. By connecting retailers, health plans, and payment processors, ProHealth Connect creates one powerful, unified network. They empower independent grocers and pharmacies to accept health benefit cards without changing how they do business. With over 10,000 locations nationwide, helping more than 1.3 million people access the care and nutrition they need. Go to ProHealthConnect.com.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
If you want to put a dent in the crime problem we are dealing with, I have long advocated for charging the parents. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach me this hour live, coast to coast, 800-848-9222. I love what the Orange County District Attorney in California, Todd Spitzer, has to say. Quote, if parents aren't going to hold their children accountable, then I am going to hold the parents accountable. A mother has been charged with manslaughter after her 14-year-old son's illegal e-motorcycle, it's a big problem in California, crashed, fatally striking an 81-year-old veteran. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis branding New York City Mayor Mamdani the Realtor of the Year for driving taxpayers to Florida. That's how sad things are if you live in our area. But one of the saddest things, and it comes out of D.C., I just don't get it. I don't get it. A federal judge apologizing because his little feelings were hurt to the White House shooter, Cole Allen, for the quote-unquote treatment he is receiving so far in jail.
Hearing has just wrapped, we are told, and at one point the judge apologized to Cole Allen. Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel is right outside the courthouse to answer why that possibly was. Mike?
Yes, Sandra, good afternoon to you. Judge Zia Faraqui apologized to suspect Cole Allen for the treatment he's received so far while he's been behind bars. He's been put on suicide watch by the Department of Corrections, and the judge was asking why. An attorney for the government said that he was put on suicide watch because he told FBI agents the night of the White House Correspondents Dinner attack that he didn't expect to survive, and his language suggested that he really was not expecting to survive his trip to Washington, D.C., and the ultimate incident where he allegedly showed up with a weapon to try and assassinate President Trump. He's been charged with that crime, but the judge very concerned about his constitutional rights, saying the defendant has requested a Bible, has requested meetings with his legal team, and that has not been allowed. He's been put in restrictive 24-hour lockup with no windows in a padded room without an opportunity to get out for recreation. And so the judge making it clear to the Department of Corrections that he wants answers by tomorrow morning about exactly what the housing determination will be made for the suspect in this case, out of grave concern about his constitutional rights, and that apology issued near the end of the hearing. And so quite a moment just moments ago in federal court. Bottom line, the Department of Corrections said they wanted to make sure that he survived, that this is a high-profile case, and all involved acknowledged it is a high-profile case. But again, the judge concerned about the treatment he's gotten since he was arrested after the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting incident. Sandra, back to you.
A lot of people might be shocked by that.
The judge apologized to this guy who's a killer, who, if he had gotten another couple yards, would have sprayed the whole audience in the Correspondents' Dinner. I mean, would have just sprayed him and killed God knows how many, and then would have marched up and taken a shot over the whole audience at the president. And we're apologizing to this guy? I don't get that.
I think it's fair to say that nobody in their right mind gets it. This guy goes in with a shotgun, shoots a Secret Service agent, runs past security, and now he wants to cry and about the conditions are not good in jail. 800-848-9222. As far as I'm concerned, they've been too good to him in jail. Now he wants a Bible. Why didn't you want a Bible when you drove from California to Chicago and D.C.? Why didn't you want a Bible then? Folks, I'm telling you, if you want to put a dent in the crime problem, charge these parents. That's exactly what they're doing in Orange County, California. It's horrible what happened to this veteran. A mother is facing upgraded charges after her son's motorcycle crash allegedly killed Ed Ashman. Ashman, a Vietnam veteran and substitute teacher, was struck on April 16th and died on April 30th. Now, authorities say, and I guess dear old mom forgot police had been to her residence before, and I guess she forgot she was recorded on body cam cameras where authorities warned her over and over that it was illegal and dangerous for her son, underage, to drive this type of motorcycle. And so this happened near the high school. And this kid was doing tricks in the street and hit the veteran, who's the substitute teacher, and left the scene. I guess the kid panicked and left the scene. And so I'm curious as to what you folks think. Should parents be charged? I don't understand how it's even an issue. If you want to stop these little monsters from running around and wolf packs, acting like they've got no darn sense, this is how you do it. Charge mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy, I don't care if you miss work. You made this child. You're responsible for this child, not society. This is a broadcast report on what's going on right now in Orange County, California.
The teenager on that motorcycle left the scene, left the victim lying in the street just behind us. You can see that small memorial there. And tonight, the Orange County District Attorney says this case should be a warning to all parents.
He was a very kind, loving person. He always told me stories of his war stories because he's a veteran. He was very humble, very kind.
2 weeks after a teenager on an motorcycle slammed into him, 81-year-old Ed Ashman has died of his injuries. And tonight, the teen's mother is facing felony charges, including involuntary manslaughter.
She absolutely knew and that she could have prevented this horrific incident from happening.
Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer says 50-year-old Tommy Jo Mayhair has been contacted by law enforcement in the past, warned that her son was not legally old enough to operate the 200-pound motorcycle with a top speed of almost 60 miles per hour.
Absolutely illegal. He was not allowed to ride it, and she was warned that in the event he continued to ride it, she could be charged with child endangerment.
Witnesses say the 14-year-old was doing wheelies outside El Toro High School on April 16th when he collided with Ashman, a substitute teacher and Vietnam veteran. The teenager fled the scene. Tonight, the community is mourning and has already donated more than $100,000 to Ashman's family.
It was really sad what happened because it was his last year teaching here.
The tragedy is the latest incident involving teens on e-bikes and motorcycles endangering others.
This is a pandemic. This is incredibly serious.
Tonight, the Orange County District Attorney vowing he will aggressively go after parents.
If you know, buy, engage, modify, facilitate, aid and abet your child to ride an illegal e-motorcycle or e-bike that's been modified, we're going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law.
If convicted of the most serious charges, Mayhair could face more than 7 years in prison. Her 14-year-old son also facing separate charges. Sorry,
Mom Mayhair, you should have thought about that before you let your child drive this bike. Let's start with your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. Joseph, line 1 in New York. Good morning, Joseph. What's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. Yeah, I think that you're onto something with that, but I think that if they're going to start charging the parents, they have to loosen the laws up to let the parents actually be able to discipline their children.
Wait. I don't understand. What does lessening the laws have to do with parents disciplining their children?
Because if you leave a mark on your child, if you discipline them, you're going to wind up going to jail and getting locked up. So you have to sort of change the laws.
Wait. Okay. So you're saying wait. So you're saying that you have to lessen the laws as it relates to child abuse. That's what you're saying. But wait a minute. But Joseph, what about? And I want to give you your say here. It doesn't have to be physical in terms of a parent controlling their child. What about parental responsibility? What about controlling these little animals as they're growing up? What about that aspect of this?
Yeah, but do you think that when a child is a teenager at a certain age and they're out of control, what do you think a parent is going to be able to do? Like a lot of kids that get into trouble, it's not because of like maybe there were aspects of their early childhood that there could have been an intervention, but now you're talking about later on, you're going to charge parents for years prior. I mean, you have to start somewhere. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think that you have to allow parents to be able to discipline their children. And
okay, so let me go ahead.
I'll let you say. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say to you, so in this case in California, the mother purchased this bike for the kid, even though the child is not old enough. The child is 14 years old. So what law would you lessen in this case?
Honestly, I really don't know the aspects of this case.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that, but is it illegal for that kid to have that? Was she allowing him to drive it on the street? Like, I think there's more investigations.
He's underage. Like what was... He's not supposed to drive it. He's underage. The police told her repeatedly he's not supposed to be driving the vehicle, the bike.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I think that's what I mean. Is like there are certain aspects that you can 100% you could charge, but I don't think that it's a cut and dry. And I think it's a case-by-case basis. You can't be like, oh, this kid, was shoplifting, or they went to the store and ransacked the store. Let's charge the parents. I think that, that they're case-by-case, and maybe there's someone that are easy ground balls where, if a parent bought a child a firearm or a gun or something like that and was letting them, take shots in the backyard where he wasn't allowed to and there was no discipline or they allowed. But not every case is a ground ball like that.
Okay, fair enough, Joseph. You did a great job there articulating your case, your point. I don't know if I necessarily agree with you, but you did a great job. As far as I'm concerned, you had no problem referring to parents making this child, and now you want group therapy and everybody else to raise your child because you failed as a parent? I don't think so. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Oh, it's out of here! Home run Ferry Hawks! Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball. Come out to the ballpark this week as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Charleston Dirty Birds May 5th through the 10th. Grab the kids and come on out. We kick it off on Tuesday, May 5th with Cinco de Baseball with $5 tickets and $5 food and beverage specials. And we end the week as we celebrate all moms on Mother's Day. Moms get in free. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Amazon presents Jeff versus Taco Truck Salsa. Whether it's Verde, Roja, or the orange one. For Jeff, trying any salsa is like playing Russian roulette with a flamethrower. Luckily, Jeff saved with Amazon and stocked up on antacids, ginger tea, and milk. Habanero? More like habanero, yes. Save the everyday with Amazon.
She does a lot for your family. Mother's Day is your chance to show her you see it with a gift from a brand trusted for generations to help people get the moment right. 1-800-Flowers. With double blooms from 1-800-Flowers, buy 1 dozen roses and get another dozen for free. It's a bigger gesture, backed by 50 years of experience delivering fresh flowers, so you can feel confident sending something that lands. Show up for her with double blooms at 1-800-Flowers.com/Spotify. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/Spotify.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Now I get it. I'm looking at my Twitter, at my X, and a number of you folks from Liz Rosenblatt to, let's see here, to Sandra in New Jersey, to DMS are pointing out that the judge, this federal magistrate, in the case of this Cole Allen Trump assassination attempt, the judge is, let's see, I'm looking for the exact word, a Muslim magistrate appointed by Obama. The judge apologizing to a suspect, someone that's been charged. He hasn't been convicted. That's what I mean by a suspect. And the judge is apologizing for his conditions. Well, why don't you, Your Honor, apologize to those hundreds of people that he terrorized that with his antics? Your Honor, why don't you apologize to all of those police officers that were in that area and had to deal with this? And let me say this right now. I've seen this all over social media. I feel it's so unfair. I feel that female officers get a bad rap. So there's somebody with video with some of the officers down the hall. It happened to be 3 women, and they were standing there together, and they heard the gunfire, and they backed up as is natural instinct, and then they moved away from the scene. Now, I don't know if that was the right thing to do, but I mean, come on, folks. This is not Hollywood. You hear loud gunfire. Yes, other agents ran towards the scene. But I don't know. I just feel that it's so unfair to categorize these female officers, stating that they shouldn't be in situations like this. Let's go back to your telephone calls. I say lock them up. The parents of these little monsters that commit crimes, and mommy and daddy was nowhere to be found when they should have been watching and disciplining and dealing with their children. So in California, a mother has been charged with manslaughter after her 14-year-old son, driving one of those e-bikes that can weigh up to 60 pounds, hit a Vietnam veteran and substitute teacher on April 16th, and he died 14 days later. And this mother had been issued numerous warnings that her son, that it was illegal and dangerous for him to ride one of these bikes. Let's go to line 1. Walter in Baltimore. What's on your mind, Walter?
Yeah, hey, Carter, you cannot charge.
Dominic, my name is not Carter. That's my last name. Dominic is my name.
I'm sorry, sir. But in the United States of America, we have individual culpability. You cannot charge a parent for a child's crime.
First of all, Walter, you do realize you don't know what you're talking about, right?
I know what I'm talking about.
Walter, you said you can't do it. So, Walter, I don't know why you love to talk over me. I don't know why you love to talk over me. Is it because you don't want people to hear how ignorant you are? Why don't I let you talk? Why don't you let me talk? I am, after all, the host of the show. You are not, correct?
You go ahead.
Okay, so if it can't be done in the United States, why is this mother charged with manslaughter? This has been done numerous times around the country with parents. Wait a minute, there you go again. You know what? You can wait if you want to. But if not, you're not going to get back on before this break. I'm tired of you talking over me. And if you continue to do it, I'm not going to take your telephone call because you really don't add anything of substance to the show. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we have a lot to get to, and you folks think I'm crazy with the alligator fears. Wait until you hear what happened in South Africa. But we have a lot to deal with. I'm going to try this one more time before I go to Steve in Bergen County. Among the other calls, I'm going to try Walter in Baltimore. Walter, this is your last warning. Do not talk over me. If you do, I will not be taking your telephone call again. So, parents have been charged with the crimes of their children all across the country. What do you mean it can't be done here? Clearly, you don't know what already exists.
I know it's done. My point is that it's a travesty. It goes against the foundation of our Constitution, which believes in individual culpability, that when you do a crime, you get charged. Not someone who is irresponsible, not someone else who is indirectly responsible.
Walter, why are you always calling me with this bleeding heart liberal nonsense?
I am not a liberal.
You're not? Well, what do you think you are? A communist?
Absolutely not. I am an objective. I'm an objective person, not political. Right?
Okay,
left.
so Walter, answer me. Why are you always calling me?
I listen to this station. And
No. Every time I'm on, you call. Why is it that you call me?
Well, the hours work out well for me, but besides for that, I actually get irked by many comments that you make and that your callers make, because there is a disconnect between reality and between what you want.
Right. You know what, Walter? I hope that you're never bashed in the head by a criminal.
For the crimes of their children.
I hope you're never. And thank you for the call. Your 15 minutes are up. I hope you're never bashed in the head by a criminal. I really hope for your sake. And then we'll see if you talk that garbage nonsense. Steve in Bergen County, line 2. Steve, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. How's it going? I just thought I'd give you some insight about my perspective. I started law enforcement in December of 1983, and I retired in 2009. I worked LAPD for 11 years. I was a training officer, and I was also in New Jersey in a small town for my last 15 years. So the issue of female officers, I wanted to give you a perspective of it, objective perspective. Female officers are very good and just as good as males doing the reports, all the administrative stuff.
So, okay, lower him down, and then he'll listen maybe. Folks, if I'm trying to get through to you, you have to listen. Steve, you can give me your point of view as long as you don't go over the line and offend female officers, because that I'm not going to tolerate. So go ahead. Let me hear your objective comment.
They were just as good as male officers, understanding the law and doing all the administrative aspects. But Dominic, it's objective. Most of the people that we deal with that are hardened criminals that are going to fight us are men. And that's where their shortcoming is. You saw it in the Olympics when these transgenders were fighting the females. Those were weak males beating the daylights out of females.
No, I got you. Steve, I hear you. So we're supposed to violate federal law and not give female officers a job because that makes you feel better?
No, I don't say that. But affirmative action is swayed giving them jobs when they didn't deserve it. You're only supposed to give people jobs when
whoa,
they're the
whoa,
most
whoa, whoa,
qualified,
whoa,
Dominic.
whoa,
You should
whoa,
know
whoa,
that.
whoa, Steve, be careful with the language. They didn't deserve it. So who says you, me, or anybody else deserved it?
Well, you physically have to meet the minimum requirement.
Oh,
And
so
one of
the men, wait, Steve, I want you to listen to your own language. So the men deserve it, but the women don't.
Dominic,
That's what
you're
you
starting to
just
sound
told
like a
me.
liberal. Dominic,
Excuse
you're
me?
sounding like a liberal.
No.
sounding
You're
like a
sounding
liberal.
like you're a big time sexist. It's not that I'm a liberal, but I just, women raised me, okay? And I just don't think it's cool to attack women with a broad brush and say that they're not qualified for a job simply because you don't like it. So what you just said to me, Steve, is men are qualified and women are not. Is that really your point of view?
Dominic, I saw two scenes where the president's life was in jeopardy.
So you're not going to answer my question. You're not going to answer my. Will you answer my question?
Well, I'll answer what's the question?
You just. I just want, Steve. I want to make sure I understand you. You just said to me that men are qualified and women are not.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you said physically qualified. Yes, you did.
They can't fight against men. That's
so
objectively
every
fact.
woman can't fight against a man. Every woman. You can broad brush like that.
They can, but they'll never be successful without males showing up on the scene, Dominic. You just got to face that fact.
Okay, but Steve, there's certain men that can't fight these suspects. Will you admit to that?
I agree with you, and they shouldn't be there either. There's wimpy men, and they've gotten in, and they've been on the coattails of the unqualified women that have showed up too.
And so Steve, so I sound like a liberal because I don't agree with you. That means I'm a liberal.
I don't think you do, Dominic, but you're trying to put a perspective on something you have no experience in dealing with.
That's not true. Listen, I don't know if I have as much experience as you, but I've been exposed to the NYPD, to their academies. I've been to the shooting range. I've been on their boats, on their helicopters. I've been to the academy numerous times. And I just think that it's grossly and greatly unfair to broad brush women and say, and thank you for the call, Steve, and say that they're not qualified to be out there in terms of law enforcement. And as a number of people have pointed out to me on social media, the women at the president's situation, those were TSA agents responsible for those magnetometers, the magnetometers. So I have a female cop on line one who is a good friend. Now, Sherry, I don't know what you're about to tell me, but you gave, 20 plus years to the NYPD? You just heard what Steve just
Almost
said,
40.
that women should not be on the job. What do you say?
Almost 40 years, Dominic.
40, okay. Almost 40 years.
Almost 40.
Okay, so what do you say to what he just said? I have no idea what your point of view is.
My point of view is I've worked with some women that were tougher than men. There's some men on this job on the police force that shouldn't be on the police force.
So why do you think he's broad brushing like that?
I don't know, because maybe he never worked. I don't know. Listen, this job lowered the standards. Like when I came on, you had to be 5'8", but there were a lot of short women and a lot of short men who couldn't come on, so they lowered the standard for the height.
Right.
None of my partners had to worry if the proverbial garbage hit the fan that I was going to be able to protect myself with them.
So almost 40 years, and you're still listening to women shouldn't be on the job as police officers. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel I never had to work with him.
Right.
That's how it
But
makes
I mean,
me feel.
but you heard what he said, and then when I tried to defend women officers, he said I'm a liberal.
No, he's just I say misogynist.
Right.
Just a very, I guess he's just like thinks he's a macho man. I don't know, but like I said, I work with some. Ow, cat! I work with some very tough women on this job.
Right.
And I work with men who are afraid of their own child.
Right. I've seen some men that should not be in law enforcement.
No.
Let me put it to you this way, Sherry. I wouldn't want to have to tangle with you. If you were on a scene. I mean, I looking at you, you're a no nonsense officer. But here we are in 2026, and you still have some sexists that are saying that women shouldn't be in certain jobs. I just strongly disagree. Sherry, before I move on, you have the final word.
He's just like, a chauvinist. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe he's,
hiding behind his experience of what he just, if that's accurate.
Well, and his testosterone. Yep.
Right. Sherry, thank you so much for the call, superstar. And I hope that your cat was a kitten, but I hope that your cat is doing well. Before I go to Robert in Philadelphia, let's go to Gail, line 4, New York City. Gail, what's on your mind?
Hi, I wanted to follow up to the call you had a few minutes ago from the man who was saying that, all right, it's about the 14-year-old that the mother's being charged for the crime of him running in. Yeah, and that maybe the problem, part of it, with and in general with the unruliness, the out of control of the underage kids now, is because the laws about disciplining children have gotten really ridiculously strict. I don't have children, but I've heard from mothers, you cannot touch your child practically, and CPS, Child Protective Services, will be on the job, and kids get smart very young. They realize all they have to do is put in a call, just so much as a complaint. They have CPS on speed dial, and an officer or an employee of CPS has to show up at their door and take anything they say verbatim and challenge the parents, et cetera, and maybe take the child away. Parents can't touch their children anymore. It's the same in the school system. I've been a substitute teacher. You can't lay a finger on a student to control them or do anything else. You can lose your license. How are many parents, mothers, supposed to discipline their children? Just talk with them, debate with them, can't touch them.
Well, Gail, you don't really want me to answer that question. So
I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because my answer is simple. I don't want to say. I'll let you have your say. My answer is simple. Maybe you shouldn't have engaged in the activity that led to you having that child. Maybe that's the answer.
I don't have children. I said I don't have children.
No, I'm not talking to you directly. I'm trying to find a way, Gail, to clean up what I really wanted to say, because it may have been appropriate. Because what I was going to say is, for many of these young ladies, maybe they should have kept their legs closed. But I'm trying to figure out a better way to say it. But go ahead, Gail, before I go to Robert.
Well, do you think every child, many of them really need to be, I'm not talking about child abuse, I'm not talking about beating them, but they respond, they do need physical control. And when you're not allowed to exercise any of that with young children, that's what they understand best. And you can't really today. You can go to jail, as you pointed out. And I don't blame the mothers all the time, or the fathers. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, Gail, but I just don't know the answer. A parent makes a child. You're responsible for the child. Don't run and duck. Thank you for the call. Robert in Philadelphia, line 3. Robert, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. It's good to talk to you again. I was calling to respond to Walter in that parents are held accountable for such things all the time. There was the school shooter in Michigan, a similar one in Georgia, that Dylan Roof's kids' parents were taken to court. I mean, it happens all the time. But, see, his complaint wasn't that you can't. He recognized that he doesn't think you should be able to. And to that, I would say that's why you have the crime in Baltimore that you have, because of that attitude right there. A parent, I had 5 kids, have a grandson, never had to do corporal punishment. And I would submit to you that if a parent is involved and doing the right things, 98% of the time you will not need to. These kids that are doing these things today have been let go since the beginning. They never had good parenting. And, yes, they should be accountable for that. You have that child. You forego your responsibilities as a parent. You absolutely should be held accountable for what that child does. That's just my opinion, though.
Right. I agree with you, Robert, and we agree that these kids have seen for a very long time these parents not doing what they're supposed to do. Thus, we end up in the situations that we are in. Thank you for the call, Robert. Let's go to line 1. Tom in New Jersey. Tom, good morning. What's on your mind?
All right. This is an old issue, very old issue, and it's going on around the world. I'm 62, and I remember when I was a teenager, and me and my friends heard about people having kids and just letting them do anything and not controlling them. We used to have a phrase for them, for the mothers, Pez dispensers. I mean, people just have kids and they don't raise them right, and then that's where a major part of the problem is. And
no doubt about it.
It's just going to continue. It's just a bad vicious cycle.
Right. I agree with you, Tom. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I
Go ahead,
don't
Tom.
know what else to say because,
that's why we're doing the topic because mommy and daddy's nowhere to be found, and then society is responsible. When the truth is, you should have never had the child. That's the truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth. You were never prepared to be a mother. You did it anyway, and now we're responsible for your juvenile delinquent. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Looking for a protein shake that tastes as good as it performs? Meet Rockin' Protein Max. Packed with 50 grams of fuel, it'll help you keep up when your day won't slow down. And because it's always creamy and never chalky, every sip tastes great. Even better, it's lactose-free and has 0 added sugar. It's not every day you find a protein shake you actually want to finish. Catch Rockin' Protein in the dairy cooler at a store near you. Rockin' Protein and Shamrock Farms are registered trademarks of Shamrock Foods Company.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
So, based on the volume of calls we have and so little time left, I'm going to have to save my alligator story until tomorrow. But you can already just use your imagination. I'm not the crazy one. A man en route to work in South Africa decided to go over some type of bridge or whatever. Collapsed. Gators waiting at the bottom of the water, and you know what happened next. Bam! Over and done with. Hey, Jimmy Fontanez, Staten Island. Happy birthday to his Helen. Helen, that man loves you to death. Happy birthday to you, Helen, from Jimmy, Staten Island. Back to your telephone calls. Pamela in New Jersey, line 1. Pamela, what's on your mind?
Good morning. When I was a kid, now this was in the 60s, my sister was a teenager, and she and her friends were goofing around, and they accidentally knocked the railing off a fence. And a little later in the evening, the cops showed up at our door. And my parents confronted my sister and said, "Did this happen?" She said, "Well, yeah, but it was an accident." And my dad was handy and willing to repair it. And the people said, "Oh, well, thank you for admitting it," and everything. But that's the way things were handled then. My parents were willing to take responsibility, and of course, in their own way, had my sister take responsibility. That's the way things should be done, but they're not being done that way today.
So what's the answer, Pamela?
The answer is we've got to get back to civility. I mean, it's crazy out there. These motorbikes, I come out my front door and I almost get killed all the time by these. It's happening in New Jersey, too, right down the sidewalk. And, when I was 18, I had a moped. And you didn't have to be licensed. You didn't have to wear a helmet or anything. But, of course, people ruined it. The people got crazy on them. So they started to make us wear helmets, get insurance, registration, yada, yada. Because people were starting to go crazy between the mini bikes and everything. And then there you go. It ended. It ended. Now we're living uncivilized now. I mean, these motorbikes are everywhere. And people are, what, the parents don't know that? Parents don't know they're going 50 miles down the sidewalk. Where are the parents? Parents have to take some responsibility.
Now, I take it that's a rhetorical question. You don't really want me to answer where the parents are because you know where mommy is.
Exactly. Now, listen, sometimes your kid will do things that you can't even relate to. You know, some past DNA in them makes them do horrendous things. Well, they have to pay the piper in that case.
Right.
On their own,
right.
They have to pay the
Right.
piper. But
Pamela,
you should, for the most part, be there for them.
Right. I agree with that. Pamela, thank you for the call. To you young moms out there, stop chasing that man and pay some attention to your child. And when you pay attention to your child, stop trying to, my daughter will tell you, as a matter of fact, my daughter, who's now in her 30s, will tell you in a minute, I'm your father. I'm not your friend. Don't ever get this twisted. Dad is not your friend. You will do what I tell you to do, and if you don't do it, you will be cut off and on your own. It's as simple as that. And you're not going to survive without Dad. So, as a matter of fact, my daughter Courtney will be joining me on Friday because she's coming down from Rhode Island. We'll all be in Nutley, New Jersey on Saturday with Lisa and John Mancini, retired law enforcement. We'll be speaking as a family about special needs children. My son will be there. It's from noon until 2 p.m. the day before Mother's Day. And you can just go on any of my social media. The flyer is there. I want to take another call. Let me just, let's go to Feliciano real quick. Feliciano, you have 15 seconds. I'm sorry. If you call back more, I'll give you more time tomorrow. Feliciano, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Dominic. Yeah, okay. Listen, real quick. If the gentleman was listening, the first crime committed was when the mother bought the e-motorcycle in the first place because the child was underage.
That's right. Feliciano, call back tomorrow night, please. I'll give you more time. Feliciano is correct. Mom, it's time to pay the piper.
Sacco and Felix, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFilas.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.